الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The life of the believers is a life full of blessings and good deeds after good deeds, seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, because the hearts of the believers are always attached to the hereafter, seeking rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the hereafter. And because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. He would bestow upon the believers certain days and certain times and certain places where their deeds are multiplied in rewards, like Ramadan, like the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. These 10 days, when we look into the revelation from Allah about them, they are amazing. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, mention them in the Quran directly, in a surah that many of us memorized. وَالْفَجْرِ وَلَيَالٍ عَشْرٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by Al-Fajr and the 10 nights. It says walayal. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, and that's the benefit for those who take and seek the tafsir and the explanation of the Quran from the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he said that layalin ashr are the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. The first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is swearing by them. And we have the beautiful hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam that is also amazing in the rewards, that he said عليه الصلاة والسلام ما من أيام العمل الصالح فيها أحب إلى الله من هذه الأيام يعني أيام العشر. There's no days the deeds are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than these days, which is the days of the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. The best deeds. There's no days that in which the good deeds are more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than these days, which basically makes them the best 10 days. And the hadith is to be continued. The companions radiallahu anhum, they said to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, وَلَا الْجِهَادُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, even al-jihad fi sabilillah, O Prophet of Allah, because they know that al-jihad, fighting for the sake of Allah, is the highest level of rewards. A person giving his life and his wealth for the sake of Allah, what is more rewardable than this? So the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, even al-jihad fi sabilillah. That means the deeds done in these 10 days are far more in good rewards than the jihad fi sabilillah in other days other than the 10 days of the Hijjah. Except one case, as the Prophet ﷺ said, إِلَّا رَجُلْ خَرَجَ بِنَفْسِهِ وَمَالِهِ فَلَمْ يَرْجِعْ مِنْ ذَلِكَ بِشَيْءٍ. Which means except a man that he went out with his own self and his own wealth for the sake of Allah, for the jihad fi sabilillah, and he did not return with any of this. That means he was martyred, and all of his wealth, of course, was given away for the sake of Allah. This is the only deed that is equal or better than the deeds done in the first 10 days of the Hijjah. Who can dispute such a hadith in rewards, or thinking that something else can be of a better rewards? So this is a great favor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to be able to witness these days. And that's why, as a result of this hadith, there's another hadith where it states that these days is خَيْرُ أَيَّامِ الدُّنْيَا, the best days of this life. You know, when people say the best days of my life, the best days of one's life is the days where the rewards are multiplied, where it's easier for the person to do good deeds. What good deeds to be done? Whether a person has the means to go for hajj, to make umrah if a person has the means, of course, to fast if a person wants to fast, to give charity. The obligatory actions, which is the most beloved deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, establishing the salah at all time, but it has a different taste and a different rewards for it in these 10 days. The 5 daily salah, making sure that we perfected the optional salah, the night prayer, reciting the Quran, making ourselves busy to be kind to the parents, to be kind to the kin and kith, to give charity to others, to even smile to one another, which is a charity. Whatever levels of good deeds that a person is able to do in these 10 days of the Hijjah, as we heard in the hadith, if we really exalt the words of Allah, if we really exalt the religion of Allah, our life and our actions in these 10 days of the Hijjah will be not the same in any other days, seeking help from Allah, seeking rewards from Allah, seeking steadfastness upon the deen of Islam, and the wisdom behind that, of course, in it, all the acts of worship, the salah, the tawheed, of course, in the salah, in charity, in fasting, people fast, in hajj, which is a pillar of Islam that get established in these 10 days of the Hijjah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us and to make us among those who worship Him in the most perfect way, and to guide us all in these 10 days of the Hijjah. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.